live, and here we are. Here we go. So, hello, Knockout Nation. Welcome to Knockout Show. I'm your host, Noel Clubb. And of course, here on the BarnBurner Network on Zingo TV channel 250. Please remember to download both the BarnBurner and Zingo TV apps from the respective iOS and Android app stores, as both apps are absolutely free. And while you download, please make sure to rate and leave a comment. Why? Because we want to hear from you. Yes, we do, folks. And Zingo TV is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, and Fire TV sticks. Roku sticks also available on all smart TVs, of course, from 2016 forward. So welcome, folks, to the January 17th edition of the Knockout Show. And let's introduce, of course, our cool knockout panel. So let's ready to rumble here, folks. And let's introduce, first of all, still waiting on Mr. Tilly. So we'll start with the longtime matchmaker and box promoter and, of course, owner of Dakota Fight Night, based out of Calgary, Alberta. Joining us from his home in Calgary, please welcome Michael, Mr. Boxing Calgary Short. Welcome, sir.
Hey.
Yeah, right on. Fist, that's it. So what's new with Michael?
Well, you know what? Every day it's just flow with the go during the times that we're in right now. But as long as I'm thinking about boxing, talking about boxing, or doing boxing, it's a good day.
Right on, sir. Great answer as always. And next on this big panel, he's a former Canadian Commonwealth boxing champion and, of course, a former welterweight, light middleweight, super middleweight professional boxer with a fight record of 33 wins, 18 KOs. Please welcome Mr. Donovan Boucher. Welcome, yes. Donovan.
Hey, welcome, Noel. Thank you for having me once again. And yeah, let's have a good time talking about some boxing.
Right on, man.
Absolutely. Love coming on with you, talking some boxing, get to, get to rekindle the boxing guys. And let's talk.
We'll do. And what's new with you, by the way? I haven't seen you in a little while. So what's happening with you these days?
Oh, with me, just working. I work for the city of Toronto. I'm in the water section.
Oh, okay.
So every broken water main I take care of. Yeah, so
especially this time of year.
Yeah, especially this time of year. Yeah, this is the busy time of year. So yeah. I've been pretty busy with doing that and doing some working on with my son.
Cool.
Do some boxing training. He's ready for university, but he likes the fisticuffs. He likes to get going with daddy, doing some
just
pad
like
work.
His dad, right on.
Doing some pad work, and just staying fit.
Teach him how to golf.
Excuse me?
Teach him how to golf.
Oh, how to golf? Yeah, actually, he went to the driving range last year, and believe it or not, he's pretty good.
Really?
Easier way to make a living these days.
No kidding. Much easier, safer way of making a living.
Yeah, exactly.
Very cool. Well, hey, we're good to have you back on the show, man.
Thanks.
Next, he has six provincial titles. And he's, of course, the 8-time Canadian champion. And he also is 1986 bronze medalist in the Commonwealth Games. Please welcome Mr. Steve Beaupre. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for having me here again. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So what's new with Steve?
Just not too much. Got the COVID vaccine a week ago.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
That's all. I work in healthcare, so yeah, work in mental health and addictions, and work for a primary healthcare team. So we have a team, so it's really, really good to do that. Most of the stuff I've been doing, I just looked at my calendar. 10 months I've been doing this for virtual. I didn't know if it would work, but it has actually. We've done the groups and that. And people are so it's been successful, even though it's we're at this time right now, right?
Exactly.
So it's good. I like doing the work. So
right on. See, he's just fighting the battle in boxing and fighting the COVID battle for us as well. Very good, sir. We like it. And next, he won the gold medals at light flyweight in 1986 Commonwealth Games, and of course reached the quarterfinals in 1988 Olympics Games in Seoul, Korea. And of course later on became a great professional fighter, by the way. But please welcome Mr. Scotty Bulldog Olsen. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Noel. Thank you once again for having me on. I always enjoyed this, and it's so nice with all the panel I have memories with, and particularly with Steve Beaupre. So Stevie and I go way back. It's been 33 years.
Yeah, wow.
That we've actually been in this kind of a forum where we've actually been able to see each other and talked. So that spoke to each other. So I'm very excited to maybe rekindle a couple things with Stevie, and of course Michael. We have such an illustrious history. Donovan's awesome, and Joe Tilley. I've known him since I started boxing, and yourself. You're just a pleasure to be hosting this.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hey, guys, I love having guys on the show. It's been fantastic for me as well. Making memories ourselves here on the show every week. It's been really special for me as well. So thanks, guys. Yeah, thank you. And next, he is the first Calgarian boxer to hold the IBF Super Lightweight title. He has a fight record of 29 wins and 19 KOs. Joining us from his home in Calgary. Calgary Connection here today, folks. Please welcome Steve the Dragon Claggett.
How's it going? It's good to see you guys again.
You too. So what's new with Steve, man?
I mean, I'm just staying steady. I'm just training. Right now the world is not moving, but I figure if I get better, then I'll be better when it starts moving again. So I'm just training, and I think that was something that I learned early in boxing. If you get better here, you'll be better the next year, you know?
That's right.
So that's what I'm working on, and I'm just staying consistent. And I think that the Tiger is going to be putting on some shows like the small private shows that are going on right now. So I think that's up next for me. So I'm still in the mix right now.
Good to hear. Yeah, in our sport, you got to always keep getting better all the time, right? It's a cruel sport otherwise.
That's the game. If you get better, you'll be better. And it doesn't. I think it was Joe Frazier said that.
That's right.
That his punches are just as hard in New York as they are here, or something along those lines. But I think that's a good one to keep with you. If you get better, you'll be better.
Correct. Yeah. Right on as always. And next, coming up, he's a long-time sports anchor and commentator, and plus a former Canadian amateur boxer. Please welcome the one and the only Mr. Joe Tilley. Welcome,
hey,
sir.
Hey, Noel. Yes, good to be here, my man. Always good to be here with these very, how shall I say, distinguished fellow guests. It's awesome here. Yeah.
Right on. And what's new with you, man?
Still working, doing the show. Had an amazing show last week with Scotty Bowman.
That's right.
Don't know if you had a chance to see it or not, but it was great.
Sure did.
Scotty was very candid and had some amazing stories, and what an incredible career, right?
No
Winningest
kidding.
coach in probably in sports history, period, in the story.
Scotty.
And then we got Jim McKenney, Howie, coming up on the show this week, so
nice.
It's gonna be fun. Yeah. So
very cool.
Fun.
Always felt like we should have got. No, that's cool. I always thought we should have got him in Toronto. Scotty Bowman as a coach. I would have made some.
You know what? There's an opportunity for him to come here.
That's right. There was. I remember that.
There was, and it was actually turned down by Richard Petty.
That's right.
And then he went on to win 3 cups in Detroit. Oh well, Detroit will take the cups if we don't want them.
That's right.
Yeah. And I'm a Detroit fan.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, because I lived in Sault Ste. Marie and it was closer to Detroit than Toronto. Toronto was like 8 hours away. Detroit was like 6, so I was a Wings fan.
Closer,
So,
that's right. I get it. Yeah,
Stevie
you're right there.
Yzerman. Yeah.
And there was a great team back then too. The Detroit Red Wings. They're an amazing club back then.
Oh yeah, they were unbelievable. All those Russians and wow, the Russian 5.
Yeah.
Fedorov, Larionov, Fetisov, and Konstantinov, and they're a good team. Really good.
Dynamite, with that amazing coach, which I still wish we had him. Anyway, such is life.
Maybe we can coax him out of retirement. He's only 87.
Maybe. Get a petition going for him.
Bring in Scotty. Bring him in, please.
5-year plan.
Yeah, right.
5-year plan. Yeah.
I think Toronto's gonna win this year.
Yeah, man. I think they might. Give him a nice big cushy seat on the bench, right? Like a real nice comfy recliner.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There you go. In blue, of course, in blue.
In blue, yeah. You can make it happen.
Blue and gold. Why not blue and gold for him? No, very good. So, folks, let's start off with our first question. We'll go to the world of well, the world of boxing here. So Bob Arum is targeting right now Ryan Garcia to fight Teofimo Lopez. So my question to you boys is, should Ryan Garcia face Lopez right now? What do you think, guys? I'm going to start with Mr. Joe Chili. Why not?
Well, you know what? I think that would be a good fight, really good fight. Lopez, I don't know, man. I think that might be biting off a little more than Ryan Garcia can handle, to be honest with you. I think you know, after what he did, Lopez did to, you know, Lomachenko, it's like, wow. I don't know. It's perhaps. I mean, probably be a good fight. Why not? And I heard about Garcia's got his I said on the MMA. Have you heard that as well?
I heard the rumor. Yeah, I heard the rumor.
Yeah.
Well,
I saw that too. I saw that too. I wonder if he's just saying things to make noise. He's talking about Conor McGregor. So I mean, how real is it?
Yeah.
And the other guy, Hector, the guy who retired, Hector Cejudo or whatever his name is, Hector Cejudo, or I can't remember his name. Bantamweight champion. He was apparently he would like to fight this guy, and he said he'd fight him in the ring, boxing, and then he'd fight him in the octagon, MMA. So he said I'd fight this guy either way. So
right, but you know how the game is. Garcia and his team, they're not going to take any risk unless it's worth the reward. So someone with McGregor's name, of course, they want that, but somebody coming back who's a big threat to him, I don't know.
I think McGregor is an easier fight than you know, if Ryan fights McGregor, I think that's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Right.
Agreed.
Isn't that ironic though? It's quite ironic because you think about that. It's more money for if you fought McGregor, but it's easier matchup for him. And that's a good point though, guys.
It's all about money.
It's all about money.
End of the day.
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Easier fight, more money. Okay, let's take that route. Let's go
kind of a no-brainer.
Okay, let's do that one. Okay.
I mean, it's not like the old times when, you know, fighters, Salvador Sanchez, he fought everybody. He's only 23 when he passed away, right? Like, and he
really, I didn't know that.
He had like
23,
6-7 fights, and he was a champion. And 6-7. I think it was like I looked, and it was like 9 fights when he passed away. But he had 9 fights in a 2.5 year career, like title fights.
Period. Yeah.
So now these guys are just one or 2 fights a year.
Right.
Yeah, busy, much busier schedule, and that's a tricky one because I understand how you want to like preserve your longevity. You want to have a long career. You don't want to take too much damage. Everyone wants to do the Floyd route, but the fans got to win too, and it's an entertainment business as much as it is a gladiator sport. So, I mean, I'm all for fighting, like so long as there are no injuries. Why not fight back to back? I think you get good momentum going that way, anyways.
Yeah, true. Yeah. What about you, Michael Short? What do you think, man?
Garcia Lopez, Bob Arum's definitely asking for that because, like Joe said, I think Lopez has the edge in that fight right now. But there's no shame in that game. If I think all these guys fighting each other, you know, we're calling them kind of the 2020 version of the Fab Four. Let's do it. Why wait until, you know, you're all 25, 30 and 0 and you think you're going to make $100 million for these fights? Let's get it on now. I think I'd like to see all of those guys fighting each other. And believe me, Lomachenko is not out of this mix. He had he got a rough night with Lopez, but he's still in and he can compete with any one of those guys and definitely be a threat. Even in a rematch with Lopez, he's still a threat.
Right. Sure. It was reasonably close decision, right? Yeah.
So, you know, it's a good, there's some good matchups to be made with all those guys. You know, the young guns, we'll call them. I don't like the name the Fab Four. There's only one Fab Four, but the young guns, they're you know, Garcia, Lopez, Devin Haney, and Tank Davis. Then, you know, there's, I don't want to see alternates, but you got the addition of Lomachenko. Linares is still a threat at lightweight, you know, and there's some other guys that are in the mix as well. So
They could hold a real good 8-person tournament, couldn't they? Like,
yeah,
eight start with 8
them.
fighters, then the 4 fighters and 2 fighters, and then yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah,
that'd be great.
Crawford is talking about moving back to 140, so who knows? I mean, some of these guys might move up to 140 and face Crawford. I mean, he's never going to get that fight with Spence. It's not going to happen just because of Spence. But you know, Spence would rather fight Canelo than fight Crawford for some crazy reason. So yeah. Good fight. Let's see it. Let's see some of these matchups happen.
Exactly. Bring it on. Exactly, man. So, with you, Scotty, what are your thoughts about Garcia? Should he face off Lopez right away? Should he wait for a bit?
I like when young fighters have that excitement and that they have that little bit of invincibility that's in their mind.
Yeah.
I would love to see more of these fights, particularly in this division where you get Lopez and like Steve Plaggett said, Lomachenko still in the works, and there's, you know, I think you win either way. If Garcia fights Lopez, he still wins these fights. The sort of the go-to guy. At least they fight, and whoever wins, I think even if you lose, you're still winning in a fight like that, because you're not protecting yourself, you're going for it. And I like to see that in upcoming fighters, as opposed to just protecting yourself and fighting guys like having fights that anyway, that's what I have to say on that. I don't want to
right on. Totally agree. All right, moving on to our next question, number 2. Oh, it's actually around a record pace already. It comes to questions. I'm going to ask you guys, what does it mean to you to be a fighter? And I'll start with, I'll go back to Joe Tilley's memories as a boxer.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think all this, everybody has to go back to memories except for Steve, right?
Except for Steve, exactly.
Well, it was, you know what, it felt good because where I was before I got into boxing and where I was after boxing, you know, the change in me, the way I changed as a human being and developed as a person, and there were a lot of positive qualities that I developed as a result of boxing. So it was, you know, it was to me, it meant you know, discipline. It meant you know, motivation. It meant direction. It meant you know, it helped me to develop all those qualities which I sorely lacked as a kid, right? So yeah, that's what I guess that's what it would mean to me as a fighter. Mm-hmm. You know, and I loved it. You know, I liked there was I got a real big kick out of knocking people out. I did. I have to admit, it was
so did Bulldog.
Really enjoyed it. Yeah, yeah, and that was a fun thing to do. But always, any win was good, and it was always fun. Losing wasn't so good, but what the heck, you got to take some of those too as you go along.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's character building for sure.
Yeah. So true. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, and you probably learn more from a loss than a win too.
Yeah,
right?
True. That's my
and looking within yourself, and but just taking everything, the discipline, the dedication, and just applying it to your life and your life after boxing, right?
Right.
I went back to school, and just applying that in everything I do. I always think that discipline, that dedication. If you want to get there, the end result, you got to put the time and the work and the energy into it, right? So when we fought, we traveled representing Canada. I mean, it was a lot of hard work. If you want that end result, you have to put it in. You have to put that work in. But yeah, and I try to instill that in my children, right? To follow that. So you got to be a role model for your children, right? So
exactly. Yeah, those are great life lessons, really. And how about you, Donovan? What's fighting mean to you?
Yeah, something. Boxing is life, I think. Boxing, you get knocked down, you got to get back up. Same thing in life. Sometimes, you get knocked down in life, going through different kind of turmoil in life. You got to get back up. You got to get going. It's it's not an easy business, the fight game or life in itself. You know what I mean? You gotta work hard, in the ring, out of the ring. You know what I mean? So I always kind of relate boxing to life.
Yeah.
And you know, you try to instill that in your kids also too with that. You know what I mean? Nothing comes easy. Anything you want, you gotta work hard for it. You know what I mean? You gotta go that extra mile. You know, you gotta uh train when people are sleeping. You know what I mean? That's my thing. I used to always train when, you know what I mean, guys, I know guys are partying and they want me to come party. You know what I mean? I know I'm going into the ring like, you know, a month from now. So I gotta prepare myself mentally and every which way. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's part of life, man, boxing. And it means a lot to me. You know what I mean? You meet a lot of interesting people along the way, and you know, you try to emulate them, you know, the good people that you know. I mean, you're gonna meet different kind of characters also too, right? You gotta distinguish between this dude or that dude. You know what I mean? If you know what I'm saying, you got the good side and you got the bad side of everybody. You know what I mean? So you gotta be able to understand and say, listen, man, I'm going to this side. I could easily go that side. You know what I mean? Like I see a lot of fighters, they go the wrong way after their career is done.
True.
And you know what I mean? You know, like drinking, alcohol, and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know it's a disease, and a lot of people, you know, tend to go that way. You know what I mean? It's sad, you know what I mean, that they can control himself. And hopefully, you know what I mean? Yeah, so, you know what I mean, boxing is life, man. You know what I mean? Just got to just take it one step at a time, one day at a time. You know what I mean? And things will work itself out.
Yeah, just like life does, eh? Just
That's like life, baby.
What about the dragon? What's the funny mean for you, sir?
Well, I'm feeling grateful right now listening to you guys because I'm hearing it all. And even like earlier today, I was a little stressed out because I'm often in a lonely spot, being in Calgary. But Mike knows. It's good to see Mike as well. Good morning, buddy. It's good to see you. But the thing is that it's a lonely sport already. And then when there's not a big scene, there's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here and, you know, I train in the gym and now it's isolation time, right? So I'm training in the gym by myself, completely alone. Nobody is there. And this morning I started feeling very, you know, feel bad. Like I wish I had a team. I wish I had this. I wish I had a coach. And I do. But then I'm hearing all you guys talk about the good times. And I'm like, you know what? It's the same thing that I always tell myself on fight day. I'm happy to be feeling it because I'm right in the middle of it. So, I mean, this is what boxing means to me. It's everything that I have. It's everything that I've always had. I started when I was a kid. I'm not going to quit until ever. You know, I'm not going to quit. Like when I'm old, I'll teach. So I think it's something that helps you find yourself. But a lot of it is, I didn't choose it. I just kind of got brought into it. And now I'm still here going strong. And then I'm grateful to be here listening to you guys. So thank you for this inspiration that you just gave me. You know, I'm happy to be going through it right now. And I think the game is, you marry the game early, whether or not you mean to or not. And it's one of those things where that's just life. Boxing is life. And that's a very real phrase as far as I'm concerned.
It's true. It's like a marriage, isn't it?
Good stuff, Steve. Good stuff.
100%. What about you, Michael?
Yeah, all of the above. You know, boxing is a metaphor for life. Okay.
Yeah.
Boxing teaches you how to approach life. So, you know, you everybody loves the rags to riches story. Everybody loves the comeback, getting up when you're beaten, and you know, getting up again and again and again, and never giving up. You know, these are all metaphors. Okay, so how we do everything in life, like Mr. Beaupre mentioned, Mr. Boucher, you know, Tilly. Steve, you're going through it now. Yeah. My day, you know, the way that I came up, I mean, I fought on network TV. I fought in an iconic arena, the Inglewood Forum in Los Angeles. And I'm in the same dressing room and I see the name Magic Johnson on the little cubby, you know, like this was incredible experiences for me. I was fortunate enough to spend time around legends of the sport. And, you know, I I wouldn't have got this being a bus driver or something like that. So this is boxing basically taught me everything, all my morals, my ethics, a little bit of the Cosby Show too. I learned manners and stuff from watching the Cosby Show every Saturday. But no, boxing, you know, my coaches, they taught me about how to be around other people. They taught me how to, you know, conduct life, you know, how to be a good quality person, you know, dignity, respect, integrity. All this stuff came out of boxing. And then of course you learn how to fight too. But it's such a metaphor for life. That's why I continue to be in a prominent position. 41 years now for me in the sport of boxing.
41 years, very good.
I'll always be till the day I die. I'll have something involved in boxing.
Yeah, but once again, well put, well said. Well, how about you, Scotty, the Bulldog Olsen?
Thank you. Yeah, all great comments there. You know, if I'm thinking about boxing and what it meant to me, I'm coming from. I tried a lot of sports before I found boxing, and I was not even mediocre at best in anything that I've tried. So really had some significant battles with being just with being good at anything. Like I couldn't do any sports well. So once I found boxing and I excelled at that, I mean that was really a pleasure. But you know, I was able to prove quite a few people wrong. I really found a lot of gratitude in that, actually. And doctors that told me I should retire, and but there was nothing like having, you know, 2,500, 3,000, 5,000 people in my hometown or in Las Vegas cheering Scotty. You know, to come from like having no athletic ability to then having people cheering your name and
yeah, on that stage,
a chance to entertain. I mean, that was, man, I you know, it puts a smile on my face and sometimes a tear as well to my eyes, just thinking about how much that meant to me, and having people accept me doing something that I excelled in.
Yeah, no, right on. Well, hey boys, once again, great answers across the board, I gotta say. As always. That's really good. I'm gonna ask you guys on a more of a what's going on for boxing today. I don't know about you guys, but I find the punch output's very low today overall when you watch a lot of the fighters. Not seeing a whole lot of jabbing going on. I was gonna ask you guys, who you see out there right now today has like the best jab, for example? Anyone kind of draws your attention or captures your attention and comes to has the best jab in boxing right now as we speak?
I'll start this.
Joe.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, I'm just gonna quickly throw it there before you get there, Mike. Yeah, I just gonna say Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury has got an amazing jab, and it just pops into my mind. Right now. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah, you know, Tyson Fury, great jab. Heavyweights need a jab. Let's face it, they're they can't get hit with a 10-ounce glove on, so they got to have a jab. They got to have a stick. I'm going to go out here and say one of the best jabs that I've seen from the new breed of boxing comes from Teofimo Lopez. That's what won him that fight.
Yeah,
he had an educated jab against the southpaw. Everybody teaches you throw the right hand, left hook. They don't understand boxing, okay? When you have an educated jab against the southpaw, that's what made him appear to be so much superior to Lomachenko, was having that jab. The way he fired it out, the speed he used, the different setups with the jab, the little, you know, hook off the jab, uppercut off the jab, all those little details made him win that fight, and he almost made Lomachenko look ordinary. So I would go out and say that, and then, you know, let's give Canelo. I mean, Canelo's come a long way since the
sure has come a long way.
So. I mean, he beat him at his own game with the jab.
Yeah, true.
Triple G was the jabber, and he didn't use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well put. What about you, Donovan? Who do you think has the best jab right now, in your opinion?
Well, number one, number one, they should be all these fighters. They should learn to use their jab, man. They should be getting all that that lesson from their coaches. But for what it's Canelo is, he's not a baddie. He's not a bad guy. He's not the tallest guy in the world. He's out there using his jab. Last fight I was watching, he was using his jab quite a bit. And I thought that, for somebody that world champion, he's using his jab and showing the young cats that the jab is very important. It's a very important tool to use. You young fighters coming up, you young bucks, revert back to the jab, man. The jab sets everything up. It sets up the left
Most
hook,
important punch.
right hand. Exactly. You got it, Joe. Yeah, you got a good jab. I know you do. Yeah, you got it hidden someplace. But yeah,
jabbing away.
Good move.
Yeah, you got a jab, man. So all you young cats, man, get back to the jab. Never mind leading that with a right hand, coming in with a right hand. You just danger. That's a danger zone leading with a right hand. I don't know who I saw. I was watching a fight. I think it was Lennox and Donovan Razor Ruddock. He led with a right hand to the body. I always revert back to that. I don't know if you remember when Lennox hit him with a right hand, bam, over top. Knocked him. I don't know if you guys remember that fight with Lennox and Razor.
Yeah. So Razor threw the right to the body and Lennox threw the right counter.
Yeah, he didn't lead off with a jab or nothing. That's just a perfect example of not leading off with a jab first. And you get caught with coming with the right hand to the body. That's
he used to try that in training camp, because Razor would come in and spar with Lennox in training camp. Hey, Scotty?
Yes.
Remember that?
Yeah, a couple times.
He tried everything, and Lennox would just we knew that Lennox had his game.
Yeah.
So like I said before, it's important. Stay with the jab first.
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. Well put. What's the Dragon? What about you? What'd you think of?
Oh man, I was thinking about it. And okay, here's one for you. How about most versatile jab? I like Terrence Crawford because he has every different kind of jab. He's got a strong jab. He's got a rangefinder jab. He's got a jab as he's on the move. He's got a southpaw jab, which he put Brooke down with.
That's right.
I mean, he has one of the most versatile jabs in the game. And while you don't see it, it's not so evident, I think it's a really useful tool. And I think that's part of what makes him such a good fighter. Crawford's jab. I like that.
Yeah, right on. Point. Good answer, too. And Mike, Mr. Schwartz, the best jab we see out there today?
Oh, I went already.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he went with Lopez. He went with Lopez.
Lopez. So
yeah,
Lopez. Yeah, right on. And over Scotty. Who do you think?
Those that are kind of familiar with my career, I didn't throw a lot of jabs. I'm not the biggest jabbing fan, so I think I probably shouldn't even comment on who do I think is. I've sparred. I've sparred a few hundred rounds with Stevie Beaupre. I don't think I ever landed a jab on him. Fought Michael Short a few times, and I never landed a jab on him. So, but I think that. Like if you land a jab, then once it's established, you land a jab, a couple jabs, I think that's pretty much enough, because then you know that somebody's going to be thinking that it might come out. So it usually set up the other parts of my arsenal that were way more effective. So if I threw a jab, which was so rare, it was usually just to set up my opponent so that I could ding him with the right hand or do something. So, but I wasn't a very good jabber. And there were a couple fights that I broke my hand that I tried to jab and move a little bit. We're not very polished. I was pretty one-dimensional. I do wish that I had some, just that I'd used it more in sparring and got a little bit more educated with it, but I didn't, and thus, if you don't do it in the gym, you're certainly not going to just show up and do it in the ring during fights.
Right.
Correct.
So that's how.
Yeah.
Hey, can I interject here, Scotty?
Sure
I got
can.
a question. I got a question for you, Scotty.
Yes,
Who is the best jab that you ever faced in sparring?
Ooh,
It's a good one.
That's a good one.
you know, well, there was two. Stevie Beaupre was one. Steve would
Yeah.
hit, 5, 6, 7 times to 1, and
Right.
and that was just a daily occurrence in training camp. I just couldn't get to Steve. He was bouncing in, bouncing out. Great jab. We had a kid that has passed away now, but he was a 115-pound world champion in Las Vegas. His name was Kid Akeem Anafawashi, and he was tall kid from I think Uganda or Nigeria. And
Right.
he had a jab that he used to just clink on me nonstop, man. Like it was.
Right.
Like I had a hard time sparring with him. And he made me look so bad until I
Is he
earned
tall?
after about 6 months, and I was able to start getting to him. Michael Carbajal had a good jab as well. Michael Carbajal, he could use a jab, and if he was landing that jab, I was smart enough to know if he's landing his jab, he's going to start landing some more stuff. So just
Right.
sure that I was dipping and diving enough to where he couldn't land his jab. Then I knew that the other shots he might throw after that weren't really set up very well. So there were times that he got me with combinations and different things. But when he would throw his jab, if he was landing it, I knew that the other punches are going to start landing now. So
Right.
I would just try to keep my head bobbing and weaving and making sure he couldn't land that jab. And if he threw something else, I was underneath it almost all the time.
Very good.
Right.
I don't know if that answered the question.
No, that totally does.
Well,
You know what?
Beautiful.
Well, that's the thing, right? You see every different kind of jab, not only in fights but in sparring, and then you kind of experience that jab. Oh, he throws it like that. I'm gonna try and throw, and then you alter yours and see what works for you. And then I actually Floyd came up to me and said it to me one day in the gym, and he said, always use a stick is the most important because it's everything.
Yeah.
And then I thought about that, and I'm like, it is everything. It's the first line of attack. It's the first, I can interrupt them. It's everything in the middle. So I think the jab's such an underused, it's not like it's underused. It's just you could work on it more. So I'm a huge fan of jab work. I think it's one of the keys of boxing.
The amateur system in the last 20 years kind of destroyed the jab. Post '88 Olympics, when they changed to the point system that they had, I think it came around 1990 or something like that. That's what destroyed the jab. In my era of amateur boxing, Scotty's and Steve's and Donovan, we had a jab. They counted body shots. We had creative defense, and that all got eliminated with that style of amateur boxing that was put out, with the point system.
Right.
Now you're getting back to some of that. So
are they not scoring jabs anymore? They don't score jabs?
Just the style of boxing.
Just the style of boxing, because of you're fighting the computer, right?
Yeah.
And so they like the big right hand, or if you're a southpaw, the big left hand.
Yeah.
But it's the jab.
They said the scoring system, Joe.
They weren't scoring.
A jab should count just as much as any other.
Exactly.
Not that's the idea, right?
That should.
But you would.
It's the white of the glove landing, right in the target area. So that's supposed.
I mean, I remember my last computer fight, and I was up by 3 punches. Going into the last round, I was 3. I lost by 6, so that's a 9-punch difference. I thought maybe 1 or 2 punches either way, and I threw and like Scotty says, I throw lots of jabs. I don't know what happened in the scoring, right? So, but I just fought like that. I used my jab on my right hand, right in the hooks, but they don't score them, right? They didn't score them. So I'm glad they changed it.
No kidding. Yeah, because it's so true. It's such a vital punch in your arsenal.
Oh yeah, really especially to me, like in the pro game. I mean, you're setting everything up. It's more slower, but you're setting everything up. Right?
Yeah, and it's also a speed for fashion too.
Yeah, to me, a good guy that could Floyd Mayweather, good jab.
He does have a killer jab.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if you start hitting the guy, if you continuously are hitting the guy with the jab, landing it, that adds up. And you guys all know as much as I do, but if you get hit in the nose with a jab and your nose starts bleeding and hit you in the eye, and like those little jabs, they add up, they accumulate over a fight, especially the longer the fight goes. So I think the jabs, it's an underused tool, and I mean it's the main tool.
Yeah, I gotta say, the jab. When I fought for the world title against Crisanto Espana, he killed me with the jab. he was, because he's like 6'1", and I'm like 5'8", 5'9", and he was just jabbing the daylights out of me. I couldn't even get close to that guy. So the jab works. So
works. The jab works.
The jab
and
works.
If you know how to use it, so a lot of times guys, like the real tall guy, and then he's going to use that rangy jab, like that's hard to get around.
It's hard to get in.
Yeah.
It's hard to get in.
Especially if you're tall, you should use that jab. If you're tall, if you're a tall fighter, you have to use the jab. I mean, can you imagine fighting a guy like Scotty, and if you're like 5'10", and what are you, Scotty, 5'2", 5'3", and if I don't use the jab against you, you're gonna storm me at me. You're gonna get inside of me, and I won't be able to use any punches, and you'll be on me like as they say, white on rice, and just destroy me, right? I mean, so I'd have to keep you away. I'd have to keep the jab moving all the time. Whereas a shorter fighter like you would not see as much use for a jab, because your whole goal all the way is to get inside. Get on top of the guy, right? So, when you're jabbing, you're trying to keep the guy from getting on top of you.
I remember going to Indonesia and fighting some small Indonesians, and I would just keep them in the middle of the ring, just with the jab, just outbox them in the middle of the ring, keep moving, boxing them, and I'd win, right?
Yeah, play to your strengths.
Yeah. No, right on.
Well, as opposed to the Koreans, they're right on top of you, and it's you're trying to get the distance to try to and it was tough. But they like, if I remember winning against a couple Indonesian fighters and just keeping them at the end of my punches.
It's interesting how the culture or country that people come from, because the generations of fighters coming out of there fight this certain style, it shapes and shifts the next generation. So you'll see they had that whole Cuban style amateur boxing, the high guard, point scoring. It's like now the big craze is the kind of Eastern Bloc, Ukrainian, Russian style, point scoring, rangy, but they put the elbows up on the hooks, and there's different looks, and they're switching stances. So it's very interesting when somebody will change, let me give you an example. Pacquiao, the Philippines, somebody will change an entire country's way of fighting in that sport for the next generation. What a cool thing.
Yeah, I remember in the Sioux, we brought the East Germany into Sault Ste. Marie against the Canadian team, and those East Germans were just really. They were the third ranked team in the world, and they were really, really good. And they had that European style, right? And it was tough to figure it out in 3 rounds, right?
Yeah, and you got to adjust to it quickly. And you've never seen that
exactly.
style.
If you've never seen that style, you've got to adjust quickly, and that's pretty much the thing.
Yeah. And if you want to nullify somebody, if you want to nullify somebody that has a good jab, it's to have a better jab than he does and to use it a little bit differently. But I just loved it when I would have a guy that would be jabbing at me, because it gave me something to work off of. At least flip it and counter. And if the guy isn't throwing any jabs at me, I'm like, well, how am I going to get in now? The guy side. So if he was throwing that jab, I was taught by Paul Horty to make sure that be happy that he's throwing jab, but work off that jab to get on the inside. Because if there's no jab coming at you, it's hard to slip and catch the guy off a little bit of balance and hit him with any timing shots.
Yeah.
Right. If you're throwing the jab, I mean, you're working off the jab as a fighter who's throwing the jab, and you're working off the jab as a fighter who's countering off the jab. So it's the same idea, right? Yeah.
Right. And then I guess there's a good message to the young fighters. Drill that, because if you see Tyson style all the time, slip attack, They slip. The first move of their combination is a slip, and then they throw something, and then they get out. It's a nice drill to make it a habit in the muscle memory, and then you go do it in the fight. And you guys all know when the adrenaline's pumping, you don't always think so clearly. So it's good to have those habits, those drills embedded in the body.
It's almost like a chess game, right? Almost like a chess game, right? And that's what you're doing.
Right?
Yeah, 100% it is. 100% it is.
So if you're on your game and you're on that chess and you're moving and it's going, it's like picture perfect, right, Scotty?
Right.
Like it's just
kind of like my chess moves weren't one at a time. So if you made a nice move on a chessboard against me, then I would just try to come and use 5 of my pieces off. That's the only chance I
had. Left, right. All right.
In classic bulldog fashion, right?
Exactly.
Well, that's why they're on their feet yelling, Scotty, Scotty, Scotty,
There's
Scotty.
Something else.
Yes,
I tell you, this guy was Mr. Entertainment when it came to the fight game. No doubt about it.
Oh, no doubt.
Yes,
Loving Scotty. Yeah.
No doubt for sure. I was gonna ask you guys too. So kind of more of a segue into the next question. Like how, for you guys personally, individually, how would you guys defend the jab? I'm kind of curious. I'm gonna start with Joe Tilly.
I think I heard it just a little while ago. The way to beat Scotty, I think said it. The way to beat a good jab is with a good jab, with a better jab, right? And what with Paul, we had the same coach, and Paul was always the same way as with me. Is like, be first, always be first, always be first. Don't wait. Be first. So if you're sticking the jab in his face, right? Then he's not then he's not going to be sticking in your face. If you can be first, bap, bap, and don't be afraid to double up the jab, bap, bap, like just keep it coming and keep it in his face. And, if you're in good shape and you practice that jab against a guy who's a good jab, who's got a good jab, well, then you just have to out jab him.
Yeah.
And then, well, that was for me, that's the type of fighter I was. So I threw a lot of jabs. I threw a lot of jabs. That was my style. So I tried out jab. If on the case, when I did run into a guy, like there's one guy who we used to spar with all the time. His name is Wayne, and I had a tough time getting through his jab. He was taller than me, so he would stick that jab in my face and break my nose, like not break my nose, hit me right in the nose, and it would hurt like hell. But so I'd have to when he threw the jab, I had to time it so I slip under the jab and then go to the body and get inside on him, because there's no way that particular guy. Because he was a heavier weight, taller guy, but when we sparred, I'd definitely have to I'd have to slip under his jab. Like Steve said, right? Just make that slip move your first move and then come inside. Boop, boop.
Yeah.
Because that's a good way to counter the jab too. But either have a better jab or else slip it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, get blocking, slipping, parrying it, pulling back from it, all those things. I'll ask you, the Dragon. What's your take as the best defense against a good jab?
Well, I mean, you guys all know as much as I do that it's a mental game. So if I can make someone hesitant to throw said jab, then guess what? I can shut it down before they even think about throwing it. And the way that I do it is you counter the jab, or you shut it down, you parry it, you hit him with it, you give him something to look at, so that he's not landing it. And in fact, he's also getting punished for it. So then he becomes hesitant to throw it, and he's got to use the other weapons. And I think mentally, if you can take away the jab, there's so many different ways. You can be too far. You can counter it. You can have a counter ready. You can jab over his jab. There's all these different things that you can do. But I think essentially the thing is to make him hesitant with his jab, and you'll beat him to the jab, because then he won't want to throw it. And as soon as you can make a guy doubt it up here, then he's out of luck. And then you can work, and then you can really out jab him. Then you can put everything on him, because that's the key, right? So if you can shut down that jab, make him hesitant for it, I think you're in a good spot in the fight.
Right on. How about you, Donovan? What's your best defense against the jab? What's your preferred defense against the bet?
I just alluded to what Joe was saying. Try to jab with a jabber. Try to be first. You guys are saying the right things. I'm just basically agreeing with you guys. Yeah, like Steve was just saying, you gotta move, step back from a jabber. You know what I mean? You got to be first. You got to do all those things that, that'll take away from a jabbers. So you just got to basically slip, counter with if you could, a hook to the body, slow him down, you know what I mean? Try to, hit that rib so that he'll slow down a little bit, so you won't have that jabbing thing happening on you. So you basically just got to go in there and be smart and go with a jab with a jabber, and outsmart him, outthink him, like a chess game.
Yes, chess game. Yeah, exactly. How about Michael? Was your preferred defense against a good jab?
Preferred defense, easiest is basic fundamentals: catch a jab and parry a jab. Slip outside the jab so you're disengaged, but as I'm slipping outside, I'm going to bring my jab to the chest, to the shoulder, to the body. But really, just if you keep catching the jab, if a guy jabs me once, I'm going to jab him back twice. If he jabs me twice, I'm going to jab him 4 times. So it's winning the battle of the jabs if that's how it's going. But yeah, when you go to the body, when you slip, when you make the guy hesitant by feinting him, drawing a punch in, eating the jab. So you eat the jab, you come over top of the right hand. Slip outside, come over to the right hand. But really, it's a matter of winning the battle of the jabs. So you got to use your own jab. Even if it's not an educated jab, just using a jab will help you. It'll change your life. If you got an educated jab, then you're probably elite.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Scotty, your answer was more offense.
Yeah. Well, we always that things with that.
I think you got to have movement too. You got to move, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely.
I was always moving, and I was always moving, and countering. So it was like that chess game, right? So your movement, and then boom, you're on top of the guy, right? And so you're the first. You're making him. You got to be first, right? And so that's how you do that. And so I'm nullifying that jab. So slipping it too, slipping off would be 2. But you're moving, boom, and getting those angles, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so
I would just wait, please throw some more jabs at me.
I would always like to get the guy over his feet and then come up underneath, right? He's off balance up underneath.
I've been in that position, Steve. You've gone there before.
He knows my tricks.
Experience at that.
He knows my tricks.
Yeah.
So,
but I would just wait for people to jab. Just get jabs. I would let them get very comfortable throwing the jab, because the last thing I wanted them to do was not jab at me. I wanted to keep that jab going. So I give them a little confidence and let them hit me with the jab. Let them feel more confident and watch my head spin back a little bit. Get it in my face and make them feel like they're really doing a good job. And then all of a sudden they get real comfortable, and I'm slipping on the outside, coming back with my right hand, left hook, at least giving me a chance to get close enough to land some really good shots. So I just love those jabs coming at me. And if you got comfortable throwing them and feeling pretty high and mighty on yourself that you were landing the jab on Scotty, and boom, boom, boom. Yeah, well, I've already set you up at that point.
See, you had to move with Scotty. Couldn't stay in front of him. You had to move.
Not a good idea.
Because you would get nailed.
Target practice, Scotty.
Yeah.
So total movement. Like you got to keep moving against a guy like Scotty, right? Like you knew he was going to try to set you up. So you had to move. You don't fox him.
Yeah. Yes, you did. Yes, you did many a time. I had sparring sessions with you, Steve, that there was a few sessions that we'd have that I just didn't hit you. That was really like I feel pretty Downsville about the whole situation. I'd go and I'd cry a little bit, and then I'd be on the bag in a couple seconds, and shrugging that off and making sure that I stayed aggressive and stuff. But you were very hard to spar with.
I knew Scotty was going to fight tall guys in his weight class. At 106 pounds, he was going to, once in a while, he would fight those tall guys, and they're going to be moving, and he's got to catch them.
Yeah.
So I knew it was good to help him like that.
You're a good sparring partner for that kind of situation.
Well, for each other, right? And then you just got to teach how to fight with those bulldogs, right?
That's right.
Those guys we had.
I think Stevie Beaupre did a better job than I did.
But I always
he would jump in, hit me with about 6 shots, then he'd be back, and then I'd throw and I'd miss, and then he'd be back at me. And
I'd go to tournaments after 2 weeks in training camp with Scotty, and I would do fabulous. I would go. I don't do myself in my achievements, right? Because of the sparring. And that was that. I always, when I look back at my career, it came down to sparring with Scotty. If I had good sparring with Scotty and I go to that tournament, I would do good. And I was confident, totally confident in what I was doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it's true though, right?
You can do well against me. You can do well against Godzilla.
Well said.
And so, I always did great after like training camps when Scotty was in training camps, right?
Yeah, right on.
And I would go to training camps after when Scotty turned pro. It wasn't the same. It was not the same. Like I got sharp, but I wasn't as sharp as when Scotty was in camp. And Paul Horty was an amazing. He was at every training camp, and he was awesome.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, very cool. Well, listen, kids, that's what it's all about, right? You got to work the jab, and right on. You got to have a good defense, and you got to be aggressive. All those good things. So, hey, guys, we're out of time already. The show flies by so fast. So, guys, thanks again for joining me, and then hopefully I'll see you guys real soon. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So, thanks, Scotty. Thanks, Steve Beaupre and Michael Short, Donovan Boucher, Joe Tilley, and, of course, Steve the Dragon Claggett. Thanks, guys, for coming on the show.
Thanks, all.
When's your next fight, Steve?
We're looking at March if we can get something down in Mexico in one of these private shows. But I mean, everything's tight right now, so I don't know. I'm just kind of training regardless, and I'll be ready for it whenever it is.
Right.
Hoping for March.
Be ready.
Keep running and good luck, man. Keep running.
If you're always ready and the call comes, you're good to go, right?
Yeah.
That's when you surprise people, right? Too.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
That's right.
Exactly.
And the other thing is when you got momentum already, you can get in the swing of things for training camp much easier than if you're hopping up off the couch.
Yeah, don't forget the jab.
Yeah.
Don't forget the
jab.
That's right.
We'll be expecting a real good jab next time.
That's right.
Yeah.
And multiple jabs too.
Yeah.
You'll get it.
You'll be first. You'll double up. You'll slip
That's
and move.
right.
You'll counter.
No, I like that.
It'll be a beautiful thing. You'll be throwing an educated jab. It'll be spectacular to see, man. It's gonna be good.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Hey guys, thanks again for being
Good luck, man.
Real pleasure. So this show goes to be heard on the BarnBurner Radio Network on over 120 platforms. Please check out barnburner.ca for all the news. BarnBurner, watch it, hear it, read it, download it, live it. And thank you guys, and thank you everyone. We'll see you soon.
We'll see you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Good to see you all.
Guys,
Really awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Later, guys.
All right,
Good to
guys.
see you.
Yeah. Still there?
Hey, I'm still here.
Yeah, what are you doing, buddy?
Hey, good, man. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm just, taking care of business, try to exercise. I'm going for a run now before it gets too dark.
Good. I just went for a walk with my wife in the woods. It was good. Hey, so you got any fights coming up reffing?
Oh, I haven't heard nothing. It's quiet. It's quiet. It's quiet. Nothing's going on in Toronto, Ontario.
No, I'm thinking that I was thinking maybe outside the country, maybe
the country. No, they use all your Vegas. They use all the guys in Vegas. You know what I mean? They keep all the guys.
They're already there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's already there. They're not gonna fly guys across. You know what I mean? So that's how it is. Yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad. Man. It's too bad, man.
Want to see you back in there.
Yeah, I love to get back in there. I had a knee issue with my knee. I had a little poor meniscus.
Oh yeah, I've had one of those.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, it's been, I did it in January of last year. And so we'll see. I'm going slowly. I'm trying to do some stairs. And
it's one you can get around without getting surgery. The meniscus isn't too bad. If it's not torn too bad, you can get away without having surgery.
you know,
right?
but I had a little minor surgery.
Oh, you already had the surgery. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then, yeah, then you just got arrested. It'll be back to normal. Yeah, good. Yeah.
Rested. Yeah, I don't got time
Like
for
going
rest.
for a run right now. Going for a run isn't exactly resting it.
Yeah, I know. But it's been like 6 months now.
Yeah.
It's been 6 months, so you know I'll try to see what I can do. Yeah, you going
Okay.
for a walk? You just stay busy.
I've been for a walk. I'm just gonna go have my dinner. I just got a text there from my wife saying it's dinner time.
Oh, you went for a walk already?
Yeah, no, I went for a walk before the show. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How long do you go for a walk?
About an hour.
Yeah. Oh yeah, about an hour. Nice. Well, in the
Through
woods.
the woods, it's nice. Yeah. Walk through the woods. It's great. Really nice. We live here. We live here in Newcastle now, and it's the woods are just down the block. So yeah.
Newcastle, isn't that in the west, north,
east, south?
Oh.
We're right on the lake.
Oh, east south.
Yeah.
Like you're all the way down by like
past Oshawa, past Bowmanville, and then is a Newcastle.
Newcastle.
No, it's only like an hour from downtown tops. 50
downtown
minutes.
Toronto.
Yeah, downtown.
Really?
There's no traffic. There's no traffic.
Yeah, there's no traffic now. So
yeah. Today I could get in there. I could get to downtown in probably 50 minutes today. Yeah.
Today, yeah.
And that's driving reasonably at a reasonable rate.
And 120.
No, yeah, 120, 118, 100. Yeah, that's what I usually drive. 118.
118. You know something? I drive 100 now. I put my I just drive 100. Put my cruise control. I just stick at 100, and I'm in a slow lane. So if people try to fly past me all the time, I like.
Yeah. Go ahead. That's actually a good way to be. That's a great way to be. It's way less stressful.
Exactly. I don't need to rush no more. I'm not rushing. Rushing to go where? I'm going to work. I'm like, there's no rush to get to work.
Yeah. I'll get there when I get there.
Yeah. I get there at 100, and it's cool, man. Everywhere I go now, 100.
No, I've slowed it down too, and like I said, it's usually 118, but sometimes I also like go down to 106, whatever. But I always set in the cruise control, and then let it go.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Well, it's good to see you, my friend. Huh?
Hey, I want to ask you, any games? Well, I'm gonna watch the game right now, the football game.
Yeah.
The Saints and the Bucks are playing. You know what I mean?
When I left, Buccaneers. Yeah.
I left. It was 14-7. Well, I don't know what the score now. I gotta go and check it, but it's probably halftime.
Yeah. I hope the Buccaneers win.
Yeah,
I mean, sorry. I hope the Saints win because I picked them. That's fine. But it would be okay to see. I mean, I wouldn't. I'm honestly, I'm okay with whoever wins. I'm okay because Brady would be quite a story, right?
Yeah,
especially
exactly.
If Brady wins the Super Bowl, he's the best quarterback. Nobody's even going to have an argument for that ever.
Oh, for sure. Oh,
ever.
Yeah, the running quarterback. It's funny. I bet Baltimore last night. You know what I mean? Yeah, Buffalo's is my team.
Well, Lamar Jackson's a good quarterback, man, but he got hurt.
Yeah, he got a concussion.
Plus, I mean, listen, it's 10-3 Buffalo. They're driving in for the tying touchdown. If he doesn't throw the interception, it's just a mind fart, right?
Yeah, I know.
If he doesn't throw the interception, it's 10-10, and who knows what happens?
Yeah, I know.
Right?
Well, you know, I know the interception. I just, oh my God,
killed him.
I bet Baltimore. I wanted to see Baltimore, but you know, I mean, Buffalo. I like Buffalo too, right? But
Buffalo's my team, so yeah.
Yeah, I had to go get against my son last night.
Yeah.
He's a Josh Allen.
I like Josh Allen.
Everybody's into Josh Allen. Yeah, Josh Allen.
Like Josh Allen.
You know, it's gonna be nice to see.
But you know, it's going to be great. It's him and Mahomes. That'll be real good. Mahomes is better. I mean, Mahomes is the best, right?
The two young
Mahomes
bucks.
is the best. Allen, Jackson, you know, Rogers, I think, are just a step below Mahomes. Mahomes is the guy. To me, it's like, because he could be with his arm or his feet, right? So
Yeah.
he's so dangerous. You know, Jackson's like that too, but Mahomes has got a better arm. Yeah.
I guess it's more the experience. You know what I mean? You've been to the big dance, so I guess, you know what I mean, he's got the edge on these guys. Mahomes.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's all it is. I'm going to eat. I'm gonna get some food to eat.
Okay, me too. All right.
Run.
Good to see you, buddy.
All right. Take care, Joe.
Have an awesome night. We'll probably see you here soon.
Yeah. All right. Take care, bud.
Buddy.
All right. BarnBurner.